Hello again, it's still Alison and it's still my YouTube channel that's Pilates Leeds, and I'm following on from talking about spine movements and hip hinges to a little much quicker clip just talking about hip hinges. If I'm honest, I think I'm a bit obsessed with hip hinges because it's such a powerful, effective move for so many things in life. So just to briefly recap of what is a hip hinge, it's where you pivot the upper body relative to the legs, and the pivot is in here where the thigh bones meet the pelvis. So there's me kind of reminding myself where to pivot. I've softened the knees, and sometimes what I do is I plug my chin to chest gap so that I know that when I pivot my body forwards, I am not being tempted to somehow lead with the head. We want to keep the whole of the upper body moving forward in space. This protects the spine from unwanted forward bending movements, but also it promotes strength in the legs because these muscles here, the hamstrings, and the big muscles in your bottom, you might have heard the term glutes, are the muscles that do the work. So not only are you protecting your spine, but you're making these muscles work. More hip hinges equals more work in the backs of your legs and your bottom. So there's a safety element to it. There's also, you can apply this in your activities of daily living. This may not first seem too obvious, but let me introduce you to, I like to call it a squinge. A hip hinge with a little bit of squat at the end, squinge. So what I mean by this is, my experience of my own personal experiences, other people's, is of watching other people, is that squatting down to do stuff is too hard. It's too hard on the knees, it's too hard on the ability of the ankles to bend enough to kind of safely get into this position. Okay, so this is where you want your squinge. So you are doing your, I'm not going to run through it, I'm just going to do the hinge. There we go. So I'm hinging quite a long way, and then I do a little bit of knee bend, and then that gets me closer to the floor. So you could do a little hinge and a little knee bend, or you could do a lot of hinge, maybe that's as far as you can go, and then a bit of knee, and that's going to get you closer to the floor. So that's hinging and squinging. Secondly, amongst the embarrassment of riches that is the hip hinge, you can use it for more overt strength gains. So this is inherently going to build strength because you're using, it's an exercise, there is kind of work going on. But you can just add a little bit extra to that, and this is a split hinge. So for a split hinge, you need a split stance through your feet, one leg forward and one leg back. Notice how narrow my split stance is. It's not big like a lunge, okay, it's narrow. Then you're going to lift the back heel, but the back foot toes are still on the floor. Then you're going to remind yourself of the pivot. You're still going to soften the knee of the front leg, and here we go again. Now what you have here is not a one leg hinge, but you've got 1.5 legs. So there's a lot more work in the back of the leg and the bottom on that front leg. You can mess around with the range of movement. I always say to people, start with a small range, always going slowly and breath flowing throughout, and then we'd swap sides. You might have a better side, often we do, it's so inevitable, so make sure you swap sides. And if you have some, if you want to have a little bit of extra sort of safety built into this, then be by a wall and go slowly. Think, yes, there's my split stance, there's my back heel lifted, there there's my soft knees and my pivot, and I'm going down slowly and carefully, and then coming back up, and maybe trying another, well, how about 3 on either side to start. It's just such a fantastic move. It strengthens the really important back of the legs and bottom muscles. It's attemptable, and even if it isn't, you can stick with a basic hinge until you feel ready. And also, so many of us have issues with the knees and don't want to do too much knee bending, and you can do powerful movements with your body without relying on the knees. So honestly, I could go on about hinges, but not now, not today, maybe another day. Cheerio.
Hi there. I do hope you found this clip useful. We've got plenty more on the site, and for now I've suggested another one for you to watch. If you want to know more about what we do in Leeds, then do visit the website at pilates-leeds.com, and right now you can subscribe to the YouTube channel. We can do this all again next month. Cheerio!